and the mod of our Discord community who got the to buy into the next round. Well, not much time to talk. We're off.
Yep. And apparently the top right timer did not start as well for Sand Night, so...
That's all right. It looks pretty synced anyway.
Yeah, that's good.
So we'll just pay attention to Baldwin's timer.
Yeah. So yeah, we can't... Yeah, 40 or bust, yeah. We have actually high expectations for Sand Night. I haven't watched too much of Baldwin's...
Baldwin is very experienced.
Yeah, so this is going to be a heck of a race when it comes down to it.
So to break it down for anyone who's not aware, this is Azure Dreams, a roguelike game for the PlayStation 1, known for its incredible difficulty. You only have one dungeon in the game, the Monster Tower. It is 40 floors to the top. Our goal for this tournament is to get as high as we can in one try. Your time is up when you die, or you reach an hour time limit, whichever comes first. Player who reaches the highest floor wins. In the event of a tie, whoever reaches that floor first wins.
Yeah, and when that comes to play, it's going to be it's definitely going to be a weird race because it's the 80% run itself is very, very inconsistent. Datters could definitely verify that.
Yes.
But it is possible to get to floor 40 in an hour. So there are chances, especially with these two players in particular, that we will actually possibly see the end of the game. And if that does happen, whoever grabs the ultimate egg first, I believe, will be the winner.
Yes, that is when time stops. To kind of break it down into why this run can encapsulate so many varied times or why it's so inconsistent, every single thing in the tower via most roguelike games is completely randomly generated. Between floor sizes, to the items you find on the floor, to where the monsters are placed, to where traps and elevators are placed. Everything is randomized, minus the first floor, which is the tutorial floor the first time you enter. Beyond that, both of our runners will be experiencing completely different dungeons the entire way.
Yeah. And the 5 items that they'll start off with, they're still getting all the intro done. Unfortunately, when we're starting from a new game, we have to watch this. But the 5 items we will have is a wood shield, which doesn't do you much, a copper sword, which doesn't do you much, a fireball, which is one of the most helpful things to start off the game with.
Absolutely.
Then we have a palumpa egg. It's a great pita fruit, or an egg bomb if it comes to that. And then the last thing is a medicinal herb, and you have 1 item of healing that's guaranteed for this entire run. So it's definitely a little bit on the scary side as well, because if you use it at the early floors, you won't have it for later, but on the later floors, you might get 1-hit KO'd if you're a low enough level, so yay.
The monsters in this game are absolutely ruthless. To give a general idea of some of the working mechanics behind the game, the tower has a spell cast on it. That means every time you re-enter, you are reset to level 1. The only things that stay with you are your equipment, if you manage to make it out of the tower alive and can bring equipment back with you, and the levels of any monsters you have with you. Your monsters' levels do not reset, so what the game expects you to do is to constantly grind in the tower a few levels at a time to get better equipment and to level up your monsters. With that being said, the monsters in the tower are dramatically stronger than your player character, even if you were at a similar level. So since we are trying to go as far as we can in one go, past floor 6, we are at a disadvantage to every single monster we fight.
I would honestly even say even floor 4 and 5 is still super dangerous, but again, Sand Knight and Baldwin are both very experienced players. I'd honestly think they'd have problems starting, like you say, at 6. If they can get to 10, I say if, because nothing's guaranteed in Azure Dreams.
Correct.
Also, as a side note, you'll be hearing lots of different mispronunciations from both of us, because there's really no way of saying the right word or wrong word.
For any of these.
Yeah. Like Queenie, there, some people...
Cune.
Yeah, exactly.
From my side, and I've heard at least 3 other pronunciations of it. That is the monster that is following them as we speak. Like I said, this is the tutorial floor. The very first time you enter the tower, he will talk about how the game works. He will tell you about all the items you pick up. He will tell you how to move, how to do certain items, or certain commands with the menu, things of that nature. Like Shawnee alluded to, you're going to get a sword, a shield, an herb, an egg, and a magic ball. That is always guaranteed. However, they will immediately be looking for better equipment. That is the worst sword in the game and the second worst shield in the game that you can find. So that very quickly is outclassed by every other monster. They will be looking for something to upgrade to very, very quickly.
Yeah, and we can see here that Baldwin is changing Queenie's AI so it follows him directly behind him. Basically, by doing that, Queenie won't set off traps. I was actually watching one of our other runners doing a bookless run earlier today, and since Queenie was actually to the right of Kane the Brain, I actually set off a bomb trap and actually killed him in the tower at floor 36. Yeah, that's heartbreaking. So the thing is, if you have Queenie follow you, you might set off the traps yourself, but you won't have a chance of Queenie being the one to set off the traps and essentially getting you. And we also see a small little speed tech there by Baldwin.
Yes.
You want to explain that one?
Yeah, so at the end of the tutorial, you run up and you take one step away from a trap, and he explains to you about traps. Then you go up to the elevator, and he explains to you one last thing about things I don't remember because it's been forever since I've listened to it. But by jumping down to the right and coming up and around and from the top of the elevator, you actually skip both of those tutorial texts, thereby saving you some mashing, which is by far the most annoying part, but by about 20 seconds just to add to your hour-long tower time.
Yeah, and also Baldwin's actually getting very lucky right now. He's gotten a couple of noises which are weak to fire. There's a kind of like a Pokemon system here. There's fire, wind, and water. Fire is super effective against wind is super effective against water, and water is super effective against fire. And he's just killing off all the noises he sees, and honestly, it's nice to see them. The last thing you want to see is, since this is the first time you're in the tower, is a flame. A flame isn't supposed to spawn on floor 2. It's supposed to spawn on floor 3. But since this is the first time into the tower, you actually... the normal floor 2 doesn't generate. So they just put the level 3 monsters down there. And since you only fight one Palumpa on the first floor, you're under-leveled when you encounter a flame, and he can severely beat up Queenie and Ko, the player character. I don't know if they actually named themselves, did they?
I believe both of them did, actually.
Yep. Pawns and Seconds,
Yep. So, if you were looking, at level 1, they have 16 health. Immediately upon leveling up to level 2, they gain an additional 10 health to 26. In addition to that, you also get an attack up 1 point, I think, and defense up by 1 point. So not only do you do more, take less, but it almost doubles your health total, which is beyond big. Getting to level 2 is the most important level up of the game. You are paper thin until you hit level 2. Hey, Palmer!
Welcome.
Another racer in our tournament.
Yes. Also, it seems that Sand Knight actually went to grind a little bit more XP before he went up. Let's see if he gets lucky with the wands.
Both wouldn't.
No, both wouldn't. Absolutely bad luck on that one. What they're looking for in particular is a Scarlet Wand. Because a Scarlet Wand...
Ooh, or that.
Yeah, or Life Wand. Okay, yeah. So Sand Knight's in a really good position, because the wands will actually increase the mixture magic damage they're doing by, I think it's 50% or something, right?
Similar. Yeah, close enough. If you do it with a correct element wand, so Kune is fire. He's a fire-based monster. He's the only guaranteed monster you get in this run. So for the most part, all mixture magic you do is going to be of the fire variety. So if you match the mixture magic you're using with a similar element wand, which in this game would be the Scarlet Wand, it gives you a flat 50% increase to the damage you do. I believe with a non-matched, it's 30%, but I'm not 100% sure on the amounts.
Yeah, and you can see by the Life Wand, every time you do at least 8 damage, you get 1 life back. Minimum of 1. So if you do 16, you'll get 2 back. Or so no, it starts at 1 and it goes up by 8, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, when you hit 16, you'll get 3 life back. And with the Mixture Magic, it does add up after a while, and it will help you survive hits. Because, again, they have a most wonderful wooden shield apiece, and nobody likes that.
So you may have seen on Baldwin's side, he picked up a Paralyzed Wand. However, you did not see him equip it. You would think, hey, you find a wand, you want to use it immediately. One of the things you don't know in this game is the state of any weapon or shield you pick up. If you look at that in the item screen, it is green, meaning it is unidentified. If you equip any unidentified item in the game, there's a chance of it being cursed. In cursed, it gets a -1 to its stats, which wands aren't that strong anyway, so it's not a big deal. The big problem is you cannot take off any cursed item until you either leave or find a decursed scroll. And because Baldwin is currently looking for a Scarlet Wand, or potentially a Life Wand, as Sand Knight has found, he doesn't want a chance equipping a cursed Paralyzed Wand, only to find a better weapon shortly.
Yeah, and also on top of that is if you have the wrong kind of wand, like let's say if somehow Queenie got turned to water, you're not going to have a good time if you were stuck with a Scarlet Wand. I do believe it hinders it, doesn't it?
Yes, 100%. Unless you get lucky and attack the appropriate element enemy. So if you were to use a Scarlet on a wind, it would almost even out. But if you were to do Scarlet on a water while having a non-matched magic type, it does decrease it tremendously.
Yeah, and so both the players are on a really good pace right now. It's only been 10 minutes. It's like 5 minutes to get through their first floor. So 5 minutes, they're going up. They both have the elevator in sight right now. It looks like Baldwin's going to explore a little bit more for some items. I think he's feeling a little bit... you feel confident at the start of the tower when you know you can actually do... Yeah, when you know you actually can kill the enemies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Another life for Sand Knight.
Yeah, well, that's not bad.
He needs to send that one to Baldwin there.
Yeah. The limit fruit. This is where I like. Once my tournament match comes up, you'll see a little bit different playstyle because every single runner in this tournament has a different playstyle. And what they're doing right now with Mixture Magic is something I don't do, and that's something which perplexes some other runners and whatnot of this game. But I would be manipulating AI. And that'd be by changing the AI to either 1 or 4, telling Queen to stay or attack or direct or do Mixture Magic and do it that way, instead of always having them on 3. And I believe that our system is completely opposite, is you stick 100% more or less to Mixture Magic, don't you?
Yeah, in my tournament race yesterday, I did not change him off of AI 3 once.
Yeah.
Unless he got lost for me or I had to make him stay. Beyond that, it was on 3 the whole time.
Did you get hit by a warp trap?
Yeah. Okay. We're not going to talk about that. So I guess since bringing it up, this is our third tournament match. Like I did say earlier, this is an exhibition match. To give you an idea, like we have talked about how RNG heavy this game is. Shawnee and I are two of probably the more experienced runners of this game. Both of us me mainly running any percent, him running a slightly longer category called Bookless percent. But I've held the any percent category record for quite a few years now. And yesterday in my tournament races, I died on 5, and then I died on 37. Yep. So I definitely, my skill did not drastically increase or decrease at any point during that race. It's just the way the tower works. We could see them both at 40. We could see them both dead at 12. This could be, 20 minutes. This could make the full hour. And this is a best of 3 scenario. So potentially be ready for an hour to 3 hours of time.
And actually, on that note as well, is one of our previous matches, Full Featureitis, when she was versing Professor Palmer, Full Featureitis had, I think, 6 blooms come at her on the same floor.
Yeah,
that was not great. At that point, it's like, you can't do much except like kind of mitigate damage and avoid them best you can. And that's what the game will throw at all these, at any of us. And if you pick up this game and stuff like that, it is... Nothing is guaranteed in Azure Dreams.
Yeah.
It's probably the most unfriendly game for that.
Lyro or Lyro, I don't know how to pronounce your name. From what we understand at this point, yes, they will eventually come up on YouTube. We don't know the time frame of it. There's quite a bit of a backlog on depending on the speed gaming channel you're on, but these will eventually come up to YouTube, yes.
Yeah, I contact some other people other than me and Dadaris because we're just here for the commentary. Try to contact some of the staff.
Talked about how great we are at this game and how much we love it.
Yeah. So. Okay, I was going to say, if Baldwin walked away from the house there, I'd be very upset.
Sand Knight has just hit floor 6. The biggest thing you're going to notice about floor 6 is the drastic change as far as the scenery goes. It's mossy, it's all green. You're gonna start to see a lot of differences come. The main one being, you're gonna start seeing a lot more water monsters. So the way to tell, for those of you who aren't familiar with this game, anytime you get hit by a monster, there's going to be a little cloud that spawns. The color of the cloud, or the special effect of the cloud, designates what type of monster it is. If it's blue, it's water. If it's green, it's wind. And if it's red, it's fire. Like we've said, water is effective against fire, and fire is not effective against water. So the more water monsters we run into, the less damage we do, the more damage we take, and the more likely we are to die.
Yeah, and water is actually the strongest element in the tower. It's supposed to be a triangle and everything's balanced.
It is not.
No. If you come across a U-boat, a kraken, blooms, mandaras, there's glaciers, everything. Water is terrifying.
Yes.
And once you identify which ones are water, you're terrified of water.
100%. You've got your main, what I call gate monsters, the ones that will be your main roadblocks every time. To start, you have your newbie or rookie roadblock, and that would probably be U-boats, I would say, which you're going to see shortly. Yeah. Then you've got your middle of the road roadblocks when you finally start to feel confident in the game. Those are Krakens that you'll see later. And then higher up, it's just water. Water is every gate monster that you're just going to die against over and over and over again.
Yep, and then there's other side effects. Eventually, after they get past, because this tower kind of goes in chunks. It looks like Sand Knight is on floor 8 with the egg, so he might get lucky here.
That could be big.
Yeah, that might be possibly a clown, and if that is a clown, he basically is gonna book it up a tower very quickly. Oh, you hit the wrong button there, or something?
I did not.
So something happened. Well, you can still see the gameplay, so that's somewhat better. Yeah, this game was great to play. Honestly,
I apologize. I'll say I did it. Either way, I'm sure it was me.
Is it back? Okay, go.
Oh yeah, it's back.
Yeah, stream delay. I can't tell. So it looks like Baldwin's in a good position if he can get rid of the bloom. So there's a couple mechanics we're not talking about. One is you see the camera shifting around and turning. You can actually look into rooms based on the camera angles. And if you know that a room is potentially dangerous or whatever, you might take a peek inside. You might barely see the elevator or a winged crystal or whatever you want in there. And it might be worth risking going in there, or it might be worth just turning around and going away.
Hey, first usable shield of the game.
Oh, I did not know the Plumpa could miss. Sand Knight threw the egg and the Plumpa missed. I always thought that was a guaranteed hit.
Catch that. Well, it's not necessarily.
Okay, the U-boat is terrifying now, and he's gonna have to use her. Yeah, there you go. So basically, you can see now that U-boats are terrifying.
They deal insane damage. They don't have a ton of health, but the real big downside is they're submerged underground, and there's nothing you can do to pull them out of the ground. Meaning, they will almost always get the first hit on you, no matter what you try to do.
Yeah, and it looks like Sand is struggling a little bit here, because I think he should only have one fireball left.
And he's going to die after this hit. This U-boat is going to kill him. Yep. So now Sand Knight is without a monster.
Yeah.
He has lost probably 60 to 70% of his total damage output right there. And on top of that, unfortunately, PETA be damned, they're great for distractions. You can leave them behind to save your own skin. And that is almost as useful as anything else they can do.
So this is the room he started in, so...
Yeah, while at the higher floor, I would say is at a pretty tremendous disadvantage right now. Yeah.
Well, it looks like he can get to floor 9 at least, so he will be entering the fire floor now, right?
Nope, one more.
One more? 9 is the last one?
Yes, it is. If you take a look, his items are not great.
Oh, he's going for the hatching.
Yep, he has about 7 items currently, 3 of which seemed useless right now. So Baldwin definitely has a better set of items, which will probably allow him to survive a little bit more. But nevertheless, I will say during my race yesterday with Don Chad, he lost Cune at level 3, and he made it to 22. So losing a familiar is no guarantee that you can't do anything.
Actually, we should explain. Hatching an egg at the tower is normally a bad thing. During this tournament, it's not, because the second you leave, use an order on your own thing, or die, you lose. But since they're kind of one single time in the tower, you might as well. It's going to hatch at level 6, so it's going to hatch... Manova's probably is not what he's looking for, because he's now going to be dealing with... Well, come the next floor, it'll be a lot of fire monsters, but here, there's a lot of clowns, and they're going to cause a lot of issues with him. And,
Speaking of...
Yeah. Yeah, he put it to 4, so it's gonna try attack. So yeah, well, we could have just, we can talk about this the quick menus that's going on. You can see the menu popping up really quickly. He managed to put the Manova back in the bag. Oh, he is not having a good time with U-boats right now.
No, he is not. I don't see currently how he's going to make it out of this, but we'll see. He's an experienced runner. He may be able to.
Honestly,
Pick up the clown.
Yeah, he's gonna have to really pull out all the tricks here to survive.
Ooh, good move. That was some really good monster manipulation right there.
Yeah.
He took one step back towards the U-boat, knowing the U-boat always wants to have the first attack, so it actually moved back with him, and that allowed the clown that was slightly further down the hallway to continue its path away from him. So it didn't detect him the second he left the room, and it looks like it was all for naught.
Yeah. And now he's now looking. You might as well chuck the other clown way behind you and try to pick up that. Because
that's going to be a rough set of circumstances. And he did it again. He's out manipulating them.
How big is the scene for racing this game? We are growing quite a bit. We've gone from 4 members in total to now we have over 85 people in our Discord. We have a lot of people doing practice races and stuff like that. I don't know how he's managed to survive this, but he's definitely going to have a lot of luck on his side to keep moving.
Right. In this tournament
there.
in particular, it has 12 members, so this is a 12-person tournament. So there's at least that much right now, and then depending on different categories, and like you said, the Discord as well, it seems to be growing more every day. As little as 3-4 months ago, there was 2 of us who would ever stream this game consistently. Ooh, he found the go up, but I don't think he can get back to it now.
Ooh, yeah.
He walked. Oh no.
Well, he managed. Okay.
Okay, Baldwin just lost Cune as well.
Okay.
He just tossed his egg for an egg bomb, so he doesn't even have a backup monster. This. Oh, we might see neither make it to 11.
This just goes to show how scary this game is. Okay, lowdown's not bad.
No, that was way better than getting attacked.
It looks like floor 10 is going to be the mark to go to, at least.
Yes.
But I think this is...
Ooh, we saw the elevator on the spin-in, so he's headed straight for that.
Yeah, that's actually the other thing, is when you see the levels load in, if you're on the right-hand side of the map, you'll see more of it because it normally goes from top left to you. But if you're on the left-hand side, you don't get much vision going on, so... Oh well. So if you're really lucky, it's a sleeping clown.
Ooh.
If you're really lucky, you can push forward. And honest to goodness, I am surprised both of them are surviving at this point with how many monsters are around.
I'm kind of shocked there.
Oh, he does have a Manova now on the fire floor, so if he does triple attacks, he should be okay.
This really goes to show you what experience in this game can do for you. Almost every single runner, maybe even myself included, probably would have died on that floor 8 that Sand Knight ran into. His monster manipulation was incredible there, which allowed him to get to 10, which allowed him to get to 11, which is now allowing his hatched familiar to do some real damage.
Yeah, now he's going to have to bank on Manova being able to take out the troll, because if he walks either down or to the right, the troll has a bow gun and will hit him. So he went for the pickup. That's.
I have a feeling Baldwin is watching his opponent because he just used a star glass on floor 11, which you normally wouldn't see being used that early unless you're aware that your opponent is also struggling and you need to move quickly.
Yeah, or the other aspect. Ooh, hey, there's a rise. Monsters can cast spells on you, and they can hurt. I don't know if he has a pillar. Oh, yellow leaf fruit, so he should be fine. This is really hard to watch because Baldwin has no monsters, but
he is
basically Sand Knight is on a time limit right now.
Yes,
because he has 5 health. He can't do anything right now.
Ooh, you went for the pickup.
It's Manova. Oh, he got it. Okay.
Yep. And I was just going to say, he's going to check the herb.
Manovas have a special ability. They multiply when they get hit. They don't travel up with you, but they do. I see. I wouldn't have done that if I was him. I would have sat in the elevator and get some health back.
who I don't think he's making out of this, and the fact that he posted in the chat makes me agree.
Yeah.
I think he's down here. I don't think he broke 12.
So I think Baldwin takes round 1 if that's the case. My guess is okay. Griffin says hello.
Down he goes. Ouch.
Yeah.
Whew. So, like we said, you can make it to 40, or you can make it to 12 or 13. Yeah, so right there we have round 1 over.
Yeah, good job, Baldwin. You got round 1.
Yes. So here in a minute, we're going to set up with round 2. And hopefully we'll see a little bit more of the tower.
Yeah.
But very, very good job to Baldwin, in addition to Sand Knight as well. Did a lot with a really, really bad hand dealt to him.
Yeah, but also looking at Baldwin's side, he was going to die there. No monsters, 2 Krakens and New Elf beside him. He's not escaping that.
Yeah, he was probably stuck and topped out at 14.
Yeah. Krakens, we can explain. When you hit them, they do damage back to you through electrical current, based on, I think it's percentage, I think it's like 20% back to you or something.
Correct. And
if you have a really strong attacking spell which comes in contact with them, you kind of damage yourself. And they hit like a truck as well. So if you see them, they're nothing but scary.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing you can do with them is if you have clowns and you have direct magic, which actually shoots in a direction, like I think it's 8 spaces ahead, and you can like kind of pot shot them or get rid of them. You can get rid of them that way, but otherwise they're just terrifying.
Well, and luckily for the runners, or especially a game type like this, direct mixture magic, if used with a wooden wand, or any wand, because they are all wooden, with one exception we don't need to get into, those do not create the kickback. If you use it with any sort of sword, you will get the kickback. So it kind of, you definitely want a wand A for the bonus attack, but also when you get to them, you don't want to take damage in addition to also taking damage.
Yeah, so that was a pretty... Both runners had terrible luck. We'll just straight up say that.
That is something I didn't know, Lyric.
I don't know if that's true or not. But the thing is, I've never really gotten Earth Shield. I've always stuck with ice. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. That's greatly appreciated. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it.
If you have any questions about the game, ask. We can explain any category or whatever, because we have now about 3 minutes of downtime. And if Baldwin can reset his timer, we can start properly.
We can actually start over again.
If not, I'll write down the time that they start at. We'll just go for an hour plus that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. So, or if they get, past floor.
Of course.
15 now. But yeah, so basically we actually do have different categories. As of recently, people have been trying to do first to 10. So you start the game, first movement outside Ko's house, you get to the tower, you climb up to floor 10. That's a run. And likewise...
I'll cut you off here real quick, so I can address the question that was just asked. Daft, this is actually a specific tournament category. For the most part, it is any percent, which would be get to the floor 40 as quickly as possible. Traditionally, it needs to be done in one trip to have a decent time. However, for a tournament category, there's no guarantee of ever reaching floor 40. So to stop that from actually races being 4, 5, or even 6 hours, we've put an hour time limit on it. And we've also said the highest you get before you die also is your limit. So it is an easy way to make it raceable and time constrictive.
Yeah, at the same time, there is that speed element. You want to get to floor 10 before your opponent if you know that you might die soon, or you want to try to push one more floor to guarantee a win, or something along those lines. The 100% run...
no one has done.
So, exactly. Okay, well, we can explain the categories. Basically, any percent is start the game, get to the top of the tower. Simple as that. Then we have the divisions of that. We have first to 10, first to 20, first to 30, which if I think I got like a sub 30 time for going up to 30 for starting on the game. So it's like that's something that people can achieve and do. And we divide it up into 10s because it's nice. The towers have 40 floors. Then we have New Game Plus, where we have certain restrictions on... Nope, did they start at wrong times? A little bit there. I think Sand Knight hit the demo.
Oh, probably. He lost probably about 7 seconds. Not a huge deal when it comes to this, unless it comes down to the last 7 seconds. But as you can see, most people don't time out on their timer.
Yeah. So for New Game Plus, we put some restrictions on because no one wants to race against someone who has a 99 gold sword and a 99 mirror shield. Because
level 99 monsters.
Exactly. Like it's not fun. So we put some restrictions. Everything has to be non-tempered, so everything has to be neutral. Spell balls can have a max charge of 8, I believe. So if you want to take 2 white sands in, you can actually teach your monster the spell as well. You have to hash the egg on the VOD. So make a save file beforehand, and then you can take anything you want, 5 items into the tower. And that is the New Game Plus run. And then we have Bookless.
Mm-hmm.
And Bookless is 100% minus your sister's book, because to fill it up, you have to find every possible monster that can evolve, get their egg, which is beyond hard RNG to begin with. You never get what you want. And then you have to get them all to level 20 to make them evolve, with one in particular being a difference when it's the kid. And then on top of that, you have to get to the top of the tower and hatch the ultimate egg. So no one's done that yet because the RNG in that is maddening. So we do Bookless, which is you just kind of do everything else in the game. You get all the girlfriends, you build all the buildings, all 16 of them. You get the blue collar, you do the oil pot, and you do the water medallion.
And make it to 40.
Yeah, and make it to 40. And then once you get to 40, the first time, or you return there on the second time, that is the Bookless percent. And that's roughly, you have a 540, I have a 630. I think Don has, is he sub 10 yet?
Yeah, and then Kane the Brain, who's also in chat, has, I believe, an 830.
Yeah, so once I'm done university, I will be getting back to Bookless. I promise that one, but I've quite swamped with work recently. Yay for research papers and all. But anyway, so I think I wasted most of the intro.
Yes, I think we talked our way through the 3-minute time. So they're back off again and on their way to the tower. Unfortunately, we have another 2 minutes to kill once they actually go through the tutorial floor that you have all seen already, which is the exact same as it was last time.
Yep. And actually, we can say, if anyone's interested in running the game or learning this game, we actually have finished the new player's guide for the most part.
Yes.
We might be missing some information, but it's on our speedrun.com page, it's in the forums. If you need any clarification or whatever, feel free to reach out to us. I'm more than happy to answer questions. I can't answer them all right away, but of course I'm happy to answer any. And likewise, I think I can speak for Datarist. Azure Dreams is a passion of yours. I'm sure you wouldn't have any problem teaching people as well, or answering
None whatsoever.
So yeah, we have a lot of details there that a lot of people won't know. If you have a charge 10 spell ball, you can feed that to your monster and teach him the spell. You can pick up monsters. That's something that some people actually don't know. The other one that people are unaware of is you can shove monsters by holding a direction into them, which I don't think we have in the guide, but that's beside the point. And we have all sorts of weird little tidbits and details. We have noteworthy monsters and whatnot. So it's like if you are interested in this game, we do have the resources. I made for Bookless a gambling tutorial because you have to get money. And we found a way how to break the RNG on them. For the most part, we're not 100% on the horse racing, but we're definitely 100% on the casino.
Correct. Lero, absolutely. I think a vast majority, I don't want to say vast majority, but at least 50% of the people running in this tournament are doing it on emulator. So, and the record categories that I hold in any percent and Bookless percent are also both on emulator. So we definitely allow emulated runs. We allow people in the tournament to run on emulator as well. And if this game does look interesting to anyone and you do want to find out more, you're interested in possibly getting into the racing community, I will put out there that Professor Palmer, someone in our tournament right now, had never even touched the game until the night before his first race.
And he did great.
He died at 6 and 7, I believe, in his race, which is very, very good for someone who's just picked up the game. However, the very next night, he did about a 4-hour grinding session and made it to 30.
Which is insanity.
Yes. The ability to improve is definitely there. The community is more than happy to help out in any way we can. And if this game looks remotely interesting to any of you, we are beyond passionate about it and love to see people join in.
Yeah.
All right, so Baldwin is up to floor 2 now.
Yep, and we actually briefly saw Sand Knight shove the Plumpa. I don't know why he did that. Maybe just to illustrate a point.
I think it was just a mistake.
Yeah. Either way, that is the shove mechanic. It does help probably 1 in a million times.
Yeah, it is a very, very rare mechanic. It does skip your turn, or it does use your turn. So, and you can only push a monster when you're right in front of it. So more often than not, pushing allows them to get a free hit on you. So unless there's something very specific you're trying to accomplish, more often than not, you won't do it.
Yeah. Okay. So Baldwin should have changed the AI to taking out the flame in one go, but yeah, the flame is the worst thing. It does give you enough experience to level up. You want a troll. The troll is the first thing you want to find because it'll get you to level 2 in one kill.
Yes.
Flames just give you just shy of your level 2 mark, and it's really annoying because if you encounter them on floor 2, they have 20 HP instead of 13 like the trolls do, and they hurt.
They're just a stronger monster in it, and it's kind of shocking that it gives less experience, but it takes 8 experience to go from level 1 to level 2. The Polympo you fight on floor 1 gives you 1 experience. The Flame then gives you 6 to put you at 7. Mm-hmm. So you are 1 experience shy of a Flame as the first monster you run into, and because of its higher health and increased damage, you almost have to burn one of your Fireball spell charges just to be able to kill it without a chance of dying.
Yeah, but although actually on Sand Knight's side you can see there is elevation to this game.
Yes.
When you're above or below
talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. We're scrubs.
Right.
So basically, when you're a higher up or lower, your damage gets affected by I think it's like 25% or something.
It feels substantial.
Yeah, but it'll be the difference between you dying in a hit or you surviving 2. Like, if a monster is above you, you're not going to have a good time, especially if it's something which is like a griffin or a kraken or anything along those lines.
Depending on the type of monster, you will actually, I don't want to say frequently, but occasionally see runners step into an attack just to maintain the elevation advantage. Because it's more beneficial to take 1 regular hit, or take 2 regular higher elevation hits, than to take 1 normal elevation hit.
Yeah. So on to floor 3 for Sand Knight. We should also explain too. There's a lot of comatose monsters in this tower, and you really want to see them as comatose.
Yes.
Oh, we got a steel sword, but it looks like Sand Knight is not going to be equipping that.
He's holding up
for a wand. See, I play very differently. I tend to use for a good majority of the game. Yeah,
you tend to equip a sword if you find a decent one pretty quickly, and then keep Cune on direct attack. I'm quite the opposite. Ooh, rough bump track. Oh, in addition, a lot of items in this game, including the one Sand Knight just picked up, a Holy Scroll, serve multiple functions depending on whether you use them or throw them. And the throwing ones are just hidden game mechanics that you really never know about until you do it yourself. Yeah. What the Holy Scroll does is if you use it, it creates a circle around you that monsters cannot attack, allowing you free hits.
I believe for 5 turns or so.
It's very, very useful, specifically on the lower floors. However, when you get higher and those amount of turns aren't enough to deal with the enemies you have, you can throw a Holy Scroll at an enemy monster. What that does is converts them to your ally for the entire floor.
Yeah. So if you spot something that is just giving you a huge problem, you can recruit it briefly, it will fight for you. You won't get experience if it kills anything. And you can't use Mixture Magic or command it. But, oh man, I have been saved so many times by just throwing a Holy Scroll and then standing in it afterwards while the other monster I just recruited tries to kill something, possibly fails, and then I finish it up.
Yes, it's very, very useful. Another item that you probably saw in the last run, I never saw if it got used, I think Baldwin used one, is an Olean. And it's you can really immediately distinctively tell what it is because it's the only blue fruit in the game. That its intended purpose is you can feed it to one of your familiars who is not Cune because he's important for story purposes, and it banishes them forever in exchange for allowing you to leave the tower 1 time.
Yeah.
Very, very rarely would that be worth it. However, the far more versatile use for us as runners, no matter really what category you're running, is if you throw it at an enemy monster, it banishes that monster. So it's a good one-hit KO. Yes, it's a very good one-hit KO move that you'll always see runners pick up if they run into it.
Or at least they should. It's really useful.
Yes.
The problem is if you accidentally feed it to your monster, you forfeited your match. Streamlined.
Not what he wants.
No, he's still looking for the
definitely not going to put that on.
Yeah, no, because Palmer unfortunately had a curse Streamwand during his match.
Yeah, that really hurt him on that.
Yeah, because it affected a lot of things for a while. Unfortunately, like you never find Decurse Scroll when you need it.
But then you run into 6 when you don't need it.
Yeah. So but the thing is, Decurse Scroll doesn't do anything if you throw things at monsters. But there is actually one neat function that people. Oh, Leolam fruit. That's
Hey, only speak of the devil.
Yeah. Oh, the flame says hello. Oh, just attack. Okay. So go back into more detail about the monsters. Is a lot of them, when you're learning how to speedrun this game, or even playing it casually, a lot like Monster Hunter and other games like that, observation is key. If you do not pay attention to what you are fighting, how much HP range they have, some people just kind of guesstimate, and some people, like, trolls have 13. We know that.
Flames have 20.
Yeah.
Cyclones have 25.
Yes, but it's like, I can't tell you how much a glacier has.
No, we cannot.
I know it's around 110? Question mark? I don't know.
When you get high enough, it's just, you know you're gonna die. You can't afford to fight it.
Yeah, so eventually people, like, you will have to observe as much as possible and figure out, there's a decurse scroll for Baldwin. So he can't afford to equip some random equipment, and hopefully, if it is cursed, he can at least get rid of it. So he can probably change to a better sword for a while until he finds that scarlet one he's really looking for.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I don't think I've explained this either, or either of us have. What you just saw Sand Knight do if you were watching his screen is he stepped on an item without picking it up. What that does is, if you hold the run button, which is circle, as you are walking over an item, it will tell you what that item is instead of actually picking it up. What that benefits you is there's a lot of items in this game that you don't ever want, that serve no purpose for any sort of a run like this. You don't want to fill up your inventory, which can only be at most 20 at any one time with just a bunch of garbage. You then have to throw away that garbage, wasting time. So by holding circle and stepping over items, you can find out if you want it before you ever pick it up.
I think Baldwin may have lost the elevator briefly, or he was trying to find as much as he could.
Yeah, Baldwin definitely subscribes to what I tend to do on the lower floors is, at the very least, 2 through 5 are 100% explored, no matter what. Even if you are 100% sure this little offshoot room to the bottom left maybe only has one item, you check it anyway, because once you hit 6 and up, there's no guarantee you'll ever be able to finish a floor.
Yeah. And we have one more floor for each of them before we get to the water floors. I meant to elaborate this on last time. The tower is segmented. You have the floors 1 to 5. You'll find honestly majority fire, but you'll have a fire, water, and wind.
Scarlet for Baldwin.
Oh, there you go. He's going to be just hitting like a truck now. So you'll see the difference immediately in the attack power. So he's going to do a triple attack here. We call that because you change the AI, so you do an extra attack, and then your ally will do one as well. So you get 3 attacks in the cost of essentially 2 turns.
So the way the turns work in this game isn't strictly defined. A lot of different things can occur that could cause the enemy's turn to go first, your turn to go first, or your familiar's turn to go first. And one of those things you can do to manipulate that is change your monster's AI. For whatever reason, the way a turn normally goes is you attack, your monster attacks, and then the enemy monsters attack. However, if they are on stay there, you will move on your turn, the enemy monster will move on their turn, and then if that brings them within range of your monster, then they get to act and attack. So what you can do is set it to AI 1 as you're seeing on Baldwin's side right now. Move away, and then after the enemy moves, your monster gets a free attack on them. So you can essentially get double or triple attacked before the enemy monster even gets to touch you as you manipulate the AI.
Yep, and I've been working on strategies to elaborate that and actually possibly times that by infinity. Because if you are a certain distance away from your the monster that you want to attack, you could potentially manipulate it. So if you are, let's say, down right 1, you can make your AI 1. If you're a monster, they attack, you're down 1, right 1, and you pick them up and you put them down, and you walk behind them, and then again Queenie will attack. You pick up Queenie and you put them down farther away, and you keep doing that. And I actually had some success in basically recycling that.
Very interesting.
So I'm not 100% guaranteed, because God love the curvy roads and pathways of the tower, but if you're on a straight, you potentially can make infinite attacks and kill things you're not supposed to. So there's a lot of weird things that's still kind of being developed and worked around in this game. We're still trying to figure out book lists for a lot of things. What's the best start? We actually even considered going to the tower, dying, so we start the game with a random floor 1, so we can possibly get a better sword and shield to start the game with.
So they both hit floor 6 pretty much right at the same time. So they're pretty close together. Their equipment isn't that different. Surprisingly enough, we have seen 1 shield so far total. Baldwin last time found an iron, and Sand Knight stayed at a wooden shield his whole run last time, and they're both still on wooden shields the whole run so far.
Yeah, and honestly, what would you say would be the best shield? Like, which is what you would want for a run? Not so much the best shield in the game, but for the actual run.
You and I differ here. I'm Diamond, 100%. I know you're more. You enjoy Mirror more, specifically for late game functionality. So a Mirror Shield
by too many dragons.
A Mirror Shield has 3 defense, so it's not a very strong shield. However, it has the ability to, I would say, 80% of the time,
a high chance, yes.
Yeah, very high chance of reflecting any spell cast at you back at the caster. So it is very versatile when the difference between getting hit for 68 damage and 64 damage is negligible, clearly. But the ability to reflect spells is always beneficial.
Yeah. And like Captain Luigi says, this game is the older brother.
This
was released in 1997. That's a while ago now.
This game was my introduction to mystery style games, and I've loved them ever since. And I grab just about anyone I can find because of my love for this game. Wow, that item room!
Oh wow. Okay, so we should specify as well. There is a lot of different rooms you can encounter. There's trap rooms, which are littered like the item room there, but with all traps, so have fun. There's item rooms where all the items will just spawn there for some reason. And then we have monster dens, which I don't think we've seen so far in the tournament matches.
Oh no, if you watch the VOD of my race, I found one.
Oh, you found one? Okay.
Yes, I did. Then? I found one on floor 2, as a matter of fact.
Ah, yes, the best floor.
Yeah. It's part of the reason why I died on 5. My first round last time.
Oh, I only kept that win seed.
I've started streaming this game on Twitch, which is when I first started trying to seriously speedrun it 5 years ago. I've definitely not been consistently running. But in the 80% category, I've done about 250 attempts in total between then and now. But as far as playing the game in general, I picked this game up when I was, I think, 11, and I haven't really ever put it down for more than a year.
And this is a game which I naturally keep picking up. When I was growing up, when I was younger, or even now, I'll just go, you know what? That's just 100% a file. Pick it up, do it, do all the stuff, and that's what eventually made book lists, because it was basically what I used to do in segments, as I'm like, I'll just do it all in one go. Because I'm not going to get all the monsters anyway. But I've never stopped playing this game. ever since it really came out. And when I was in England, I somehow managed to snag the entire thing, CD cases and all art and instruction for like $30 Canadian. So.
So I don't know if anyone was watching on Baldwin's side. I saw what happened.
That's unfortunate.
He was going to attack a U-boat. He was aware that his Kune was one shot away from drowning, so he tried to command it to move away from the attack so he couldn't be attacked. But due to the lovable programming of this game, that was one of the times where the enemy monster got its turn before his monster, even though he was manually commanded to do it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
He put the Holy Scroll beneath the U-boat.
Okay, I missed that while I was explaining, and my mind was almost just blown.
Yeah, he just quietly just slipped it underneath. He tried to bribe the U-boat away.
Just putting it at its feet as an offering.
Yeah. It didn't find that funny. As it bit him in the face afterwards.
Yeah. So, we're here again. Baldwin's on 9. He doesn't have a monster with him, and so he is definitely at a disadvantage here, but again, that really means nothing in the grand scheme of this game. This game will punish you or gracefully allow you to live as it sees fit, not you.
Yeah, there's... a lot of the games I've speedrun, a lot of the end bosses are not free, or a lot of certain segments are not free. This entire game is not free. Which is why it's perplexing that so many people run bookless now after me and my brother basically pioneered the run, and we're like, oh, no one else will attempt this, this is really dumb. And now we have people, Don Fargo streamed it for 18 hours.
Yes, he did for his first completion.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't get that. Also, yeah, you always want to be away. You don't want to be directly in front of the trolls in this floor because they have the crossbows. So you'll see Baldwin move left and right. There you go. There's a snipe there. They are super annoying.
He's getting kind of surrounded by him.
Yeah. And it does look like Sad Knight is on his tail because he still has Queenie going right now.
Yep, he's a floor behind, but he's still got all of his damage output. Oh my gosh, these trolls, he's got one on every side.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, okay, so, each one does what? 11 damage with the wind shield? So what he should do...
Again, depending on the... Yeah, good call.
Yeah. See, what I would do is, this is what you can, again, different thought processes here, is you would use the Mahel Seed when you get close to one, make it approach you, and you walk towards it, and then down,
outmaneuver
take one shot, and then eventually the Mahel Seed doubles your speed for like 8 turns. So you can get away from them and kind of maneuver around things, but a lot of the runners don't seem to use Mahel Seeds.
I do on occasion. I believe, from what I understand, it's 8 of the turns you take. So as far as monster turns, it's 4.
Yeah, but the thing is, it does make a big difference because he wouldn't have been shot there if he were too.
Yeah, it absolutely can make a big difference. I actually used used one during my race yesterday for the first time in a long time, and it came in very beneficial.
Yeah, and it's, the other thing is, I know Full Featureitis use. Volcano says hi.
Ooh.
And it trolls over there too.
Well, he got the paralyzed. Can you push and hold? I can't remember if I've tried that.
No.
Okay. I
think he's trying right there.
Oh, he tried for the miss.
Yep. Okay, so floor 11 is the one to beat. So, yes, you have 4 turns in one if you do that with a picket. I did that, and I used to set it to 5, and I taught it a level 36 breath spell.
Oh my god.
It was the best picket ever. Everyone seems to hate them. I love it. It's my favorite monster in this game.
I hate pickets. They're not allowed to be good.
Yeah.
They're just not.
So, okay, so if Sand Knight can get up to floor 12, because if he gets to floor 11, Baldwin was there first.
That is correct.
So he has to get to floor 12. So that is not a big ask, because Queenie's here. He has a wand. He has a mixture
And he has
magic.
an earth shield. Or ice shield. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That is a water element shield. You will primarily run into fire elements, like we said, on these floors. So you are going to take decreased damage from almost every monster on this floor.
It looks like he's just booking it. He didn't even bother to check the wand over.
No, I think in checking the Discord, he's got an idea of where his opponent ended.
Oh, I see. There's dead on 11. Okay.
I mean, yes, you can follow at any point and see where your opponent is. But the nice thing about this tournament, especially this being our first one, there's a lot of sportsmanship going on here. We tend to be very forthright and open about what happens to us. So
there's no reason to hide information when the game is like it's not gonna in a grand scheme of cool, you made the volcano drop.
You got the acid rain. So that's gonna be game. Or Sand Knight's absolutely going to be able to, and he gets an egg, of course. It looks like we are moving to game 3 here.
Yeah, so we're 1 apiece.
This is the second race. I apologize. Mine made it to 3. Because I died on 5 my first round.
So, Griffins. Oh, jeez. Yeah, Griffins are just little tiny trucks that just run into...
Oh my gosh.
Sad Night celebrating with the Griffin on his head. A little bit of showboat there.
Just a little bit. That's okay.
But you're allowed to if you can pick up the Griffin. Okay,
the
other thing as well is everything, like Dadaris said, we're all very good sports. We're not going to be like, oh, do this, do that, whatever. It's like, you won this because of X or whatever, and I didn't get the... No, if you lose, and it's your fault.
It's never your fault. It's always the tower's fault.
The tower, yeah. But the thing is, we're not going to sit there and go, oh, this is immediately... this is the reason.
Yeah.
And... Oh, he's going into options.
Show you boating.
Yeah. Nice. That's great. I enjoy bad jokes. Keep them coming. But basically, so we're going on to game 3. I don't know how to kill 5 minutes, so Dadaris, take the lead.
All right, I will be more than happy to talk. I talked throughout my whole race yesterday because I was the only commentator. So I'm very, very ready and available to talk as much as need be. I'll think about a couple of things we may not have touched on.
Like we said, if the chat has questions, this is a perfect time, chat, to ask us questions. We need to kill time. Help us.
So I guess I'll go a little bit more depth about our runners in particular. I really haven't had much time to approach that. So Sand Knight is the creator of the Azure Dreams Discord. He was in my chat a while back, and we kind of bonded over our absolute love of this game. And over the years, anytime I was on and streaming this game, he would pop in and say hi. And about, 4 months ago, I jumped back on, and we decided, let's start up a Discord. That was after Shawnee had recently jumped in and started doing his bookless percents and things like that. Okay, I'll take a quick break.
So, does anyone know what a Rocher fruit is?
We just don't need to talk about that. Okay.
No, it says, there's a question. What is the luckiest you've been in your personal runs?
Go for it. Go ahead and explain it.
Yeah, when I was racing Dadaris in a bookless, I managed to find a Rocher fruit on floor 2.
Your first floor 2.
Yes. So it wasn't just like, oh, you re-entered the thing. I just found it, and I carried it up with me, and I got the monster I wanted. But unfortunately, during that run, we didn't quite know how the healing herb spawned, so I lost an hour and a half overall to that. So I had to do 2 runs up the tower for that. That was infuriating after that, but whatever. But that was probably the luckiest moment I had in one of my runs. What about you?
Unquestionably, it's my current world record any percent run. I was 5 minutes behind my PB time once I hit floor 20. And between floors 25 to 40, I made up 6 minutes of time with how lucky my elevators were, with how few monsters I ran into, and the items I had. I have never had such a consistent run of 15 floors of just good. And it's never been matched, at least for me.
Yeah. Actually, I have a question for the chat, because everyone here is knowledgeable of the game and stuff like that, or has played it, or wants to play it. 2 questions. If anyone wants to answer either one, feel free to.
Don't do it.
Do what?
Go ahead.
What's your favorite monster?
There it is.
Yeah. And the other thing is, what is the dumbest way you've died?
Oh.
Because mine was I unequipped my mirror shield for a diamond shield, and I got sniped by a dragon. Even though I knew
That's a
I
rough
was,
one.
yeah, and I was on floor 38 or something at that time.
3 slam traps in a row. Yeah, that's a trap.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, level 99 hero. Yes, I played the Game Boy Color version, and there's a ton of huge changes between the PlayStation and the Game Boy Color versions. One being there's very minimal town building, or harem, I guess, usage in the Game Boy Color version. You can get Nico and Selphie to fall in love with you, but that's it. And then you only can build paved roads and a fountain in the Game Boy Color version. However, the Game Boy Color version, while only having 30 floors to the tower, once you reach the top for a second time, unlocks the basement, and the basement has 99 floors to the tower. And so there's also bosses in the Game Boy Color version, boss monsters that you cannot reach the elevator until you defeat. So there's legitimate bosses, a much bigger tower, and a much more wide variety of monsters in the Game Boy Color version.
Yeah, the Game Boy Color is just wild. I've seen a couple. I remember seeing Sand Knight play it on stream. I think once or twice, or someone streamed it, and I found it just fascinating.
Yeah, it's very interesting to watch. Sporophyte. End goal for a race specifically in this tournament is we give an hour time limit. It is reach as high as you can before you die, or you reach that hour time limit, whichever comes first. Whichever runner reaches the higher floor wins. So far, we haven't had a race make it past 30 minutes. So, but
they can all change now. Like, we don't know.
Absolutely.
Like, we started this. We're now at the hour-ish mark since we've been commentating and racing. It could double our time for all we know. We have no idea
100%.
what the tower will bring, because the tower hates everything.
Yes. Vega, yes, we do. I personally run emulator, and a couple other racers.
PS3?
Yep. Sand Knight happens to be running on PS2, I believe, and I think Baldwin runs on emulator. So.
Yeah, there's actually the main problem is with that. Not to complain about it, but I will complain about it because you'll see it when I'm racing, and if you saw a full futuritis race, because it's the same PS3. I'm 20 seconds slower by the time I'm able to enter the tower.
Just in
Sand
load times.
Yeah, just in those small load times between starting the game and getting to the tower. That's how much time I lose. So I'll be playing it semi-disadvantaged, but I don't have a PS1 or PS2. And I might look into getting one soon. So just because if I can save a couple minutes off a run just because of hardware, I'll do it. I don't really use emulators myself, so.
So, back to what I was talking about way back when. Just real quick to talk about Sand Knight. As far as a racer, we've done practice races a lot leading up to this tournament, just for fun. A bunch of exhibition races and stuff like that. In his first 4 practice races, Sand Knight made it to 40 twice.
Yeah.
He is very experienced. He is no stranger to finishing a run in one go by any stretch. And in his 4 practice races leading up to this match, he made it to, I believe he said, 2, 5, 6, 4, and 36.
Sorry, Baldwin has encountered the second elevator. That does happen every now and then.
Yes. Yeah, that does happen for sure. Multi-elevator. It always throws you off for a brief second. You're like, wait, I already saw. Oh no. Oh, okay, yeah, there can be 2.
And actually, I did tell you one thing was possible before it happened when you were doing an attempt, where there's 3 elevators in one room.
Yes. Yep, and then I ran into that same run.
Yeah, there's certain things which when the level gets spawned, there is no seed. Like, and if there is a seed, it's endless for the amount of. I've never seen the same floor twice ever, except the 1 floor rooms.
Right.
Screw us on that one.
I've also seen items spawn on top of the walls of a room, which means they're completely uncollectible. I've seen
Unless you have a
monsters.
flat scroll.
Yes. I've seen monsters spawn on the tops of rooms, which are also not able to. Sporo, not seeded whatsoever. This is completely different for both. There's no real emulation or hacking or mod or randomized community for this whatsoever. It's just the game itself completely randomizes it. It's the main reason we do a best of 3 category, to stop one racer from getting atrocious luck and being instantly knocked into the losers bracket.
Yeah, they need atrocious luck twice to do that.
Yeah, exactly. See? You need double the bad luck.
Yeah. But honestly, like it makes things a little bit more fair. And if we were doing best of 1 race, it wouldn't make much of a difference because like we've seen, like one race went after the 5 minutes entering the tower. It was like 6 minutes or 7 minutes before someone like lost Queenie. Another 2 or 3 minutes after that till someone died. So it's like, well, if we were to do best of 1, we wouldn't be talking to you fine folks very long.
No, we'd have been done quite a while ago.
Yeah, this is why we're doing best of 3. It makes things more fair for them. It makes more fair things for you guys who want to sit, keep us company while we're doing this, and
gives you all more game to watch.
Exactly, and everyone who plays this game loves this game. I have not seen anyone who's literally played Azure Dreams and went, I hate.
I would disagree. If you slightly scroll up in the chat, we had a gentleman friend immediately said he hated it, so he would call you a liar.
Wow.
Just throwing that out there.
I never knew I could lie.
I definitely known that for quite some time. Since the day I first met you.
Yeah, okay. We should have specified as well. Me and Dad are very nice to each other. We're not normally the chat with each other.
No, we are not.
Okay, we are great friends. Don't get us wrong.
Yeah, 100%.
We are definitely the trolling side of things. Oh yes, Sad Knight just activated a trap with the sword.
Yes, that's definitely a thing.
Yes, you get 8 experience for every trap you activate. Your monster does not, so now his levels are going to be off sync. But you can, he'll do it again there with the poison trap. You can get a little bit of experience, and if you have a trap, it was like loop or lupe or however you pronounce it.
I call it loop.
Yeah, same. If you have one of those and you're on the early floors, definitely use it because you get 24 to like 40 experience for just breaking out all the
traps. That's 2
levels. Yeah, that's a lot of extra confidence. And unfortunately, you can make Queenie hit them as well, actually.
Yes.
So you can split that way, but...
So again, we've seen Baldwin find a decent shield, an iron shield that is defensive 5. It is the 3rd best shield as far as defense rating goes in the game.
Yeah, and... there's not much we can commentate on other than what's happening on the screen because like we can't say, oh, in this floor coming up.
Right.
We know the general layout of the tower. From floor 3 to 5, it's going to be flame trolls and palumpas. And then the second you hit 6, oh look, all the blooms are there. The second you hit, I believe 8 is U-boats, and U-boats stay till...
U-boats start showing up at 7. Oh, 7, there's another Scarlet Wand, Baldwin.
Oh, geez. That's...
He is getting very lucky with those today. So he is almost set for his equipment. He would like to find a slightly better shield, but he definitely has a good enough one to where he's not needing one.
Yeah, and again, if anyone has any other questions, please feel free to ask. You can see Baldwin again going for the trap loop.
Yep, and that identifies every trap on both the mini-map, but you can also see them a little slightly transparent on the floor as well, where they are normally invisible. Yeah, so he can then hit those, trigger them, or on the very rare occasion that it's useful, you can allow a monster to walk into him and trigger it as well for a paralysis bomb, etc. But very, very rarely does that happen.
Don Fargo, this game is a farming simulator. There's your answer. Don Fargo is one of the other runners in the community.
And in the tournament, so yeah. Don't let him fool you.
Actually, he's up next.
Yes, he is, actually. He's after this race.
He will be competing against Pasama.
Yes. Sporophyte, it's not necessarily how strong are we before we start diving floors, it's how strong are the monsters.
Yeah, and eventually once you're past... once you're past floor 15, you're always going to be outmatched.
Yep, 100%. You can get lucky enough with a Scarlet Wand on 14 with like Garudas and things like that. If you get really lucky, you can do a little bit of water on some of the higher floors, but you'll see most runners skip 6 to 8 because of the U-boats, blooms, Manovas, too much water.
Yeah, it's way too dangerous.
Sand Knight, I know for a fact, likes to farm 10 and 11 because the monsters there give so much more experience, and the fact that they are mainly fire makes it so you can at least survive as long as you have a decent equipment setup. But then once he hits 12, it's a guaranteed rush for the rest of the game for him.
Although I never did actually hear any people say their favorite monsters. Everyone just answered what was the second question.
Oh no, a couple people threw theirs in. Like
Yeah,
we
but-
talked about Nile, which isn't. No, sorry.
No. Well, the thing is, Nile's good. I like Nile, but for water creatures, there's a lot of better options out there. But the healing or the MP healing. Oh, we actually never explained about MP. After all this time. Okay,
We're
so
really good commentators. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. So Queenie is using Mixture Magic, and Mixture Magic uses up, or actually everything uses up MP for the monsters. And it consumes faster when you have 2 monsters out if you manage to get the blue color. But every single time you do anything, eventually the MP drops and drops and drops. So that's why we get given to Pita Fruit at the start, because Queenie's special ability, for the most part, is he can't be brainwashed, but he's the only monster that starts at 100 MP. And because of that, he is a great choice for the whole Mixture Magic strategies that's going on here. And when it comes down to it, if your monster were to hit 0 MP, they are useless. You can pick them up.
Another item room for Baldwin.
Oh, wow. That's really... he can 2-shot the Manova, though, right? 15? Yeah. Because I think they have 28 HP.
Something like that, I don't know. Manovas are one of the few I don't know.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Manovas. He doesn't need to look at the wands at all, but the herbs and the sand is definitely going to be 26 HP. Okay. Yeah, a long time ago, I had me and my brother made like a little bestiary of our own, and like try to write down like the averages or the ranges. That book's long gone now.
Okay, he didn't make the play. So, sorry, just a sidetrack here. Baldwin found an Earth Shield. Now, an Earth Shield is one of the 3 elemental shield types. It is a wind element shield. It is defensive 5, so the same defense as an iron shield. However, since wind does beat water, and most of the dangerous enemies in the game are water, you will take less damage from using it. However, there's a fairly substantial drawback that actually came into play yesterday in my race with Don Chad. Every trap in the game that deals damage, bomb or slam, is fire-based, and every attacking spell in the game that deals damage to you directly is also fire-based. And you take 50% more damage from those things if you have an Earth Shield equipped. It's not just, you take slightly more. It's a 1 defense shield instead of a 5 defense shield. It is a 50% damage increase from direct elemental attacks. And Don Chad took a 36 HP rise to the face last night. Or yesterday morning to end our race. So some people do like to equip it to take the less from water, but to me it's never been worth the risk, and apparently not to Baldwin here either.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think Sand Knight would absolutely welcome that with his wood shield, though.
Oh, of course, of course. If that's where you're at right now, you're probably dying for it. But he, fortunately enough, already has a good enough shield where he didn't feel the need to take that risk.
Yeah, and also I actually can explain as well. There's actually a common trait shared between all the genuses of the monsters. Is all the fire spells will damage you, all the wind spells will do status effects, and all the blue ones will kind of do a weird...
Usually something beneficial.
Yeah. And there's certain monster skills like Volcano or Glacier things, or Snowmen that can break obstacles, or Tyrants which get angry. I never really understood them.
They just go berserk.
Yeah, the only thing I know about them is their eggs sell for 10,000. I found one during a run before. I'm like, okay, cool. I have no intention of ever using a Tyrant, because if you make it go berserk, it can hit you.
Also, just to kind of finish where we were, once your familiar runs out of MP, they drop. They don't drop dead, but they drop unable to move or do anything until you feed them something to recover their MP. Pita Fruits recover 50 MP. Any monster egg that you feed to your monster also will recover 50 MP.
Except Newell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that thing is a vegetarian, apparently. It can only eat Pita Fruit and herbs.
Yes. So what you'll see is anytime we find a Pita Fruit that's just beneficial for us, very rarely will you see Tune run out of MP, because he starts with 100, plus we have the 50 from the Pita Fruit, so it's 150 MP altogether. It's very difficult to burn through all of that, but it's more peace of mind than anything else. The knowledge that you're not even going to come close to running out.
Oh, Newell can eat seeds. Okay,
I didn't know.
So again, when we were initially making the guide for the game, there's a lot of information all of us have that we think is common knowledge. We found out a lot of us have no idea what we're talking about for the most part. Did you know about this? No. So
due to the fact that we went, an hour to an hour and a half, how could that be?
Yeah. It took us 4 hours to write the initial draft of that document. So there was a lot of moments of everyone's like, wait. It's like, are you serious about that? It's like, yeah. It's like, huh. The Digimon World Complex.
Slam trap. Okay, yep, he did go back to pick up that wind seed. That's good.
Yeah. The wind seeds are really good. You can throw them on enemies and transform them to this, and then all of a sudden they'll be doing, and you'll be more damage against your magic. So if you toss one against the U-boat, U-boat becomes wind, and you can just wreck them.
Yep. In addition, like we have mentioned, all offensive spells in the game, including any attack magic ball that you find is fire-based.
Ooh, item room again for Sand Knight this time.
Oh my gosh, this is a lot of item rooms.
Yeah, I don't normally see them that often, so don't think that's normal if you're going to play.
Very, very rarely will you ever find a wind monster in the entirety of the tower that you're afraid of. Usually you'll have either fire mixture magic, a decent fire monster, or the ability to use a magic ball that has a fire spell on it. And those are all almost always one-hits on wind-type monsters. So even in the 20, mid-20s, high or low 30s, you're still not really scared of wind monsters.
So this is the difference between, again, me as a player versus others. I'd be picking up every possible sword. Because just because you have a wand, you throw it, and it does this damage that if you were to do a swing. So you can get another 13, 14 damage off on something, and that can make the difference between you one-shotting it or taking one less hit.
Yeah.
So if you have a bunch of extra swords, he's gonna get hit once.
That's not bad.
That U-boat.
That could have gone a lot worse, for sure.
Yeah. The fact that he does have a good shield on though, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wasn't that worried. Even if that Manova had hit, he would have just, taken 6 more. Still fairly reasonable.
The medicinal herb is something that a lot of people didn't know as well. But it's not the medicinal herbs that you buy at the hospital. It's only the ones you find in the tower.
Really?
Yes. If you buy one at the hospital, it will not increase your max HP by 1. Again, things that you think is common knowledge.
Crazy.
Yeah. And it's stuff like that which makes this game so fascinating to run, because we're still learning things. Like, you found out a block when you threw a lean fruit on a transform Manova.
Yeah.
And it's like you just wait for a while. It's like, oh, it stopped.
I thought I got soft locked in my race too. A Garuda abducted my Kune. Ooh, Diamond Shield, and it was cursed. So a Diamond Shield is 7 defense, and when it's cursed, it takes away 1. So that Diamond Shield is actually now only a 6. Still 1 better than the iron he had, but the big benefit it has is it cannot rust. There are rust traps in the game that will decrease your sword and your shield by 1. Wands cannot rust because they are made of wood, and a Diamond Shield cannot rust because it is made of diamond. So these will be permanently stuck in this state, and you will not have any worse equipment for the remainder of the game.
Yeah, if he finds another Diamond Shield, it would be worth equipping it. But he did use a decursed scroll, so he can unequip it. So he's lucky on that one. So clowns are probably the best source of experience you're going to get on floor 8. But the problem is you have U-boats there as well. So you kind of want to move up 1 or 2 more floors. Because the clowns and griffins are annoying. Nope, he has to go up 1 more. I was going to say, with clown floating, it makes him look like he's higher than he actually is.
Right.
And I don't know. I think Baldwin should just kind of cut the floor here. Also, they're both actually in really good positions this time. I like the previous 2 matches where, oh, whoops, Quinny died, or oh, well, this is a problem.
Yes, thank you, Lyric. I was actually going to make mention. So while clowns are a great source of experience due to the fact that they're wind and easily killable, they are actually potentially the worst source of experience in the game. They have a spell called Lowdown. It actually decreases your level by 1. Now, it puts you at the previous level with only 1 experience needed to level up. But if you were only 1 experience away from 8, and he lowdowns you, now you're only 1 experience away from 7. And you have to earn that entire 7th level back up again. So it's really, really kind of hit or miss. Luckily, Baldwin, if he has the high ground, has the height advantage, can one-shot clowns. So that's not a worry for him if he finds him in the right spot.
Yeah, but you can also see the difference between, they're both level 7. And the mixture magic is Minova's taking 3 shots to kill on Sand Knight's side, while Baldwin is doing 2. And that's the power of the Scarlet Wand. Even though they're both versing water creatures, it makes that much of a difference.
So, Sand Knight's dealing 13, and Baldwin just dealt 21. That is literally the difference of a Scarlet Wand. A wand in general, plus the fact that it's scarlet, is a tremendous, that is, again, an over 50% damage increase.
Okay, Queenie with a 2000 IQ play by setting off the bomb to damage a clown first. That is amazing. Good.
I don't know, I'm probably saying Mr. Magic. I'll assume that's me saying that.
Yeah, mixture magic. Also, you don't want to find any wind crystals, because during this tournament, unless you want to keep your file when you're done, feel free to, because we do have a new game plus category. Go for it. Like Axel Higgs said, is the Leo Lamb to Belrongs. That's very exploitable. Belrongs are special little creatures. They appear on 16. Did Sand Knight lose Queenie?
Whoa!
Nope, he put him back in a bag.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I don't think he the Holy Bell is probably the play I'd do, because then there you go, because they're gonna leave through the exit and just go through the one that they're not gonna be going out.
Oh, another thing I was gonna mention earlier, and I think I try to mention any single time they pick one up. Probably the number one item you are dying to find during your tower runs are any sort of magic ball that's laying on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to being, attack-based spells, which is very, very nice, they also can have some very debilitating status effects. Paralysis, blind, the ability to create an ice rock wall behind you that will distract monsters, allowing you to get away, Bleep, Acid Rain, which will kill any non-wind monster in one hit in a single room, or within a 3x3 square around you if you're outside of a room. Yeah. So, they are almost always worth picking up, with very few exceptions. They come with multiple charges, so it's not like an Olim fruit that you can only use once, a Tuna fruit you can only use once. They'll all have at least 4 charges, other than an Acid Rain. So
yeah, which I think has 2 at most if you find it.
Yeah. Anytime one of these runners sees a magic ball on the ground, we'll almost always see them do whatever they need to at least look at it.
Yeah. And the one thing which is interesting about the Acid Rain Ball is you find it has like 1 charge on it. Whatever, you hold on to it. That's where every single white sand for the rest of the game is going.
Yeah.
But don't think that you can kill wind creatures with it later. Eventually, They're going to have too much HP. It's water versus wind. And they actually survive in his Decky in the face. So, also, both of them are on floor 10 now.
Yes.
And they're both in good condition. They're both level 8. Baldwin a little more HP than Sand Knight, but Sand Knight's doing absolutely great right now. He's a frog. Okay.
Very nice. I think you're... Feel free to yell at me for jinxing the runners here. I think we're going to see both of these... Ooh, so there you are, right there. Kune has run out of MP. That is what happens when they run out of MP. They fall on the ground, they are unable to move around, and that is it. Luckily, he has 2 Peter Fruits, so MP is clearly not an issue for him. But that is indeed how it looks. Ooh, both of them also just hit a go-up trap to get to 11.
I don't think Sand was going for that, though, because he purposely left the elevator.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
so he's definitely looking for items or something.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, like I said, feel free to yell at me that I'm going to jinx. But I think we are going to see both break 15 here.
Honestly, they're both in good conditions. I would probably say the only thing that would be problematic would be...
Any miss like that?
Yep.
With a Griffin, that's rough. But he does have 2 medicinals, so that's not too bad.
Yep. And the Fireball will not kill the Griffin, I think. Yeah, it will stay at like 2 HP.
Ooh!
Ooh, Synchronized Rise!
And Sand is not looking great.
Yeah.
He's got his medicinal though, so he's gonna eat that right away.
Yeah. See, what he should have done, again, sorry to like backseat game, but he could have set Queenie to AI 1, walked down right, lured the Griffin, and then had Queenie finish it, so he wouldn't have to waste a flame charge or fire charge on the ball.
Yeah, that was definitely an option. I think when it comes to when you're that low HP, and especially with a deciding race like this, even though it's not, for the tournament, it's more exhibition than anything, you're really worried about potential for a bad input.
Yeah.
That has hit many a runner badly. Just moving the wrong way, one wrong step, and it's gone. So I think, and maybe he wasn't even thinking of that in general, but in my condition, or in my situation, I absolutely would have done that because I would have been afraid of a wrong input.
So the thing is, I hold down triangle before I do inputs, so I will always make sure I go in the right directions, and I'm just naturally used to doing the AI.
Yeah, I'm still not, and you'll very rarely see me ever do it. Even though I know there's frequently times where it comes in handy, I still don't do it. I don't care.
Also, I just love how volcanoes waddle, for the record.
Yes. Little big butt.
Yeah. They poop out stones thinking they'll distract you, but if your AI is set to 3, 2, 1...
It does not.
No. Actually, the 1 will if it's close, but you can just command your monster for that turn just to move away from it, or just... here's a new Elves. They're water, they have tons of HP, and they're a waste of time if you don't have a Scarlet Wand, because they'll heal themselves before they're done.
Correct, for more damage than you can deal.
Yep. They'll heal 24, 25, I think.
Yep.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, so either they will run out of MP first, or they'll finally decide not to heal themselves and allow you to kill them. It just really depends on which.
Yeah, so we have a pretty good race going on. I would say Sand Knight's, if I had to give him...
He's definitely struggling a little bit with this floor 11 right now.
Yeah. Okay, every time we keep talking about him, he's getting hit by slap. Whatever. So let's talk about Baldwin. Baldwin, how much luck do you have right now? Let's see.
Not bad.
Okay, right when I said that, he actually walked into the room of the elevator, so whatever.
I'm actually kind of surprised. I didn't realize this. Baldwin hasn't sorted his items once.
No, a lot of people don't, because if
Really?
okay, so there's a little bit difference in that one, and it's a preference thing. I don't tend to sort once I get magic, because if you remember that fireball has 5, that fireball has 3. It's a weird kind of like, oh, is that the right one in the right sorting area? So
yeah, but when you sort, and I guess again, difference of opinion. When you sort, whatever one you collected first will always be listed first.
Yeah, but some people might not know that. It might not be a common knowledge.
That's
Plus,
true.
also, like I know my. Oh, yeah, I think Baldwin saw the elevator there, so he's going
Yes,
to
he did.
for that.
Oh, he's actually looking to explore here. That is an interesting choice. I don't think I would have made that.
No, I definitely would not have.
Well, okay. If he's doing what I think he's doing, it makes sense. It looks like he just wanted to peek into that other room since he was so close. And see
Okay.
if there was anything like a magic ball there or an Oleem maybe, if there was no monsters nearby, and then he bailed. Ooh,
Yeah.
Zan
Ooh,
takes another rise.
I was
and
actually just
an
going to
egg
say,
there.
the Griffin looks very scary there. He does have a lot of holy material.
Yes. This is not when you want to use it, though.
No, what he should... I should have done...
Here's your most hated item in the game.
2020. Fire crystals?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no problem with fire crystals.
I thought you hate how unreliable they are.
No, they just run off like my familiars, that's all.
Yes.
Okay, I have a little meme about me in the community, is you get shottied, your monster decide to walk the random direction and go get itself killed somewhere.
For no reason.
Yeah,
I've seen it happen to him twice.
Yeah, so it became a thing. Full featureitis. She loves throwing things, but she tends to place things when she's not supposed to. So she put the Holy Scroll beneath the monster, and it was the finishing blow against her. So she's like, well, damn. So things happen. But we all have good fun at each other's expense. It's also, I would be feeding...
I was going to make a mention of this, but I know both you and Forgo are doing it.
I'm not gonna mention that. I wasn't going to. Light thing.
In my current record bookless attempt, I did unintentionally die on floor. And then in my previous attempt, I also did unintentionally die on floor 1.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm aware, I'm the only runner that has any sort of video evidence record of him dying on floor 1 unintentionally.
Yeah, and the thing is, with the bookless percent, you want to progress time as much as possible, so you go to the tower. You normally have to get to floor 2 very quickly. Also, we are both on floor 15 now. You did not jinx that.
I had a feeling.
Yeah, so at this point, the game's gonna get a lot easier and more difficult at the same time. Because the amount of Manovas is unfortunately getting a very high quantity right now.
He should be able to two-shot it.
He should.
No, one-shot after a fireball. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to need 2.
Yeah, it was with the Scarlet Wand.
Oh, no. Sand's going to use his Holy Bell here, I bet.
Yeah, that looks like a good decision right now.
Yep. So Baldwin's up to 18.
Okay, those trolls are scary.
Those are incredibly powerful.
Yeah, mainly because, not so much they're like scary because like, oh no, they don't have that much HP. They ignore defense.
Yes.
And when they do, they hit for, I think, minimum 16.
Yeah, it really feels like I don't think I've ever seen.
And here we're going to see the New Well's annoying ability. Because in one more hit, it's not going to die. And then it's going to heal itself.
And if you watch Baldwin's side here a little bit, you're going to see the most annoying enemy in the game, no matter what anyone else says. That is the Picket. They're a little green monster who runs around. They get 2 turns to your 1.
But they're very, very, very weak. But
incredibly weak. They only deal 1 damage. They have about 60 health. Their big problem is they can steal items from you. So, guess what? That Binding Ball, that Acid Rain Ball, that Fireball, Olean, Tuna, take your pick, it's gone now. And because they can outrun you, if they steal your only ranged ability, good luck getting your items back.
Yeah. Also, Sad Knight just found a really nice egg. And I would honestly take time if he doesn't have...
Baldwin is on 21. Here's where you're going to start seeing the real horrifying monsters show up.
Yes.
As you can see, this definitely takes a page out of the floor 6 to 8 or 6 and 7-ish vibe. The dark green, the mossy, the dark jungle type feel. Because yet again, you're going to see your strongest monsters being water on these floors.
Like that Plumpa. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there's actually a reason the Plumpers are there. So it's to screw with you if you don't pay enough attention. And basically, there's the Vipers, which are very, very strong creatures there. But there's also a Plumpa. But there's a second Plumpa in this floor as well that tends to steal your collar from your monster. So you are left alone until it dies. And if that happens in a crowd, you are screwed. Oh, good job by Baldwin using the Wind Seed.
And then Sand Knight had to burn one of his holy...
Yeah.
Whew, okay, so that's just kind of... Oh, neg 2. That's to point out how strong a Viper is. He threw a Wind Seed at it, so it was wind. Kune was fire, so the Viper was at a disadvantage and still dealt 21 damage with a single attack. So these guys are no joke. In addition, being hit by them also has a chance of lowering your max attack as well. Meaning, so you are overall just getting weaker as you fight them. Ooh,
that was a very, very unlucky hit there. Yeah, 1 in 8 chance to hit you when it's confused. It managed to smack him for 31. He has 61 health. This is at the point of the game where...
Yeah, Baldwin couldn't afford to take another 1 in 8 to move on.
No, absolutely not.
Oh! Okay. Sand Knight just found the best familiar in the game.
Pick it.
Don't cheat.
I know. Okay, so basically, Pickets are only good if you make them good. And I made a coin-operated bazooka, since everything you feed to a Picket gives them 50 MP. So all the silver pieces, if you hover over them, you can just feed them and do whatever. But you can teach them whatever magic you want by fusing things into them. So on one of my original files, I made a coin-operated bazooka that was spewing out the strongest fire spell. And...
Oh, no!
Oh... Okay, so Sand Knight okay, there's a lot of bad...
So, I switched over to Sand Knight's audio just so we can hear the Monster Den music.
Ah, yes.
It's horrifying, and this is not game over, so this looks incredibly intimidating.
But the thing is, all the trolls are dumb. That's a good thing for him.
All the trolls are hammer trolls, and the Pickets. So he could potentially make it out of this.
That leg. Look at that leg.
I think what you're gonna do at this point is probably bring out Kune, maybe?
Nope, Fire Crystal.
Let him go to town. Does he have his other Fire Crystal?
He still has a Fire Crystal. So, the more monsters, the less likely the game is to run nicely. You can see the difference between both of them. Sand Knight is playing on a PS2 with good load times. Also, he should not be attacking the trolls at all. they're only going to do 1 damage to him. You want to keep them as a space buffer between them and the strong monsters, the Garuda that's in the room.
I was gonna say, there's only one strong monster in here.
Yeah, he's very lucky on that one. They could have been all. But speaking of how much Picketer love, look at all that love the Pickets are giving him.
Look at that red.
Oh god.
So the Queen Bee, I'll actually use this moment to bring up a soft lock that Shawnee discovered. If he were to use an Acid Rainbow here, he would soft lock the game.
Yep.
The game cannot handle killing more than 8 monsters at one time. And if more than that happens, it just sets it into a cyclical overflow.
Yeah, basically, the game says, "Wow, you got a lot of experience. Let me use one of those weird bead apparatuses to calculate it," and it will never stop. It keeps resetting it, and it's dumb. But yeah, look at that. That is just there's a pool of blood on the map.
That is insane.
But again, the trolls are not that bad. What he should be doing actually is picking the trolls.
Well, the fireball had no more charges left.
Yeah, that was fine. So yeah, if you want to know how many items that Pickets can steal, 1. If there's 20 Pickets, there's your inventory.
So while we have been just completely enamored with what's been happening to Sand Knight, Baldwin has made it up to 24. So he is definitely on the move here. And oof, 10 health.
I know Sand Knight's personality quite well. He is probably laughing like crazy right now.
He is losing his mind. He is dying on his stream.
We definitely have to, if we get them in for an interview after, we 100%. Definitely have to ask him, so, do you like Pickett still? Yeah, he's just booking it out. He's only taking 1 damage at a time.
I was surprised he didn't use this earlier. I think he was really trying to save this. But
no, don't kill the trolls. The Garuda. Oh, he's trying to get the Garuda to him, I think.
Yeah, he's trying to get rid of it.
No, he's.
Oh no, Manovas are here now.
Oh dear. Yeah, I think this is going to be the end.
I don't see a way out of this for him.
No, if he were to make a break for the door initially and kept trying to pick things up, there's one of the Pickets that stole one of his items coming back now. In his face,
yep.
He's gonna run away again. There he goes. Yeah. Okay. So
are both of his familiars dead?
I don't know if they're dead. I'm pretty sure.
You gotta bring them out and hopefully sacrifice them at this point.
Yeah. See, the thing is, if you had a holy bell, this would be the best case scenario.
Oh, and the holy scroll's gone. He can't get out of this. There's no way. Yep. And there it is. Yeah. Oof.
GG, Sand Knight, you did the best damn could.
Oh my gosh, there was no way out and around that.
Well, we have 20 minutes left, so we can admire Baldwin if he wants to keep playing. I don't know what's up because we're kind of waiting for the next match. We don't know if the other runners are ready yet. I haven't contacted them. I'm still here. Dadarus is going to take a break from commentary, but I'm going to be here for the next run as well. Much to Dadarus's relief.
Yeah.
No.
It's been great. It's been way more...
Less frustrating?
Way more enjoyable than traditionally having you around.
The first time Dadarus ever did a bookless run, I sat in his chat for 6 straight hours trolling him. That's where I came from. Actually, it's 8 hours or something.
I think you're still trolling me in that chat right now.
Oh, yeah. Some say I'm still trolling to this day.
Yeah. All right, let's see if we can get these guys in here.
No, Sand Knight did not win. He very much did not win. He got pummeled to death by small little marbles, basically.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to have Sand Knight in, but not Baldwin. He does not have...
a microphone.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah,
like we
exactly
said.
what I called it. Joining us in a laughing fit is Sand Knight, who got pecked to death by 1 damage.
I tried, man. I tried.
You really did. We gotta give you full credit. That is a hell of a thing that you went through there.
Oh yeah. Both my losses were at least, I hope, entertaining, man.
So We were watching Baldwin, and
Yeah.
he was just after 20.
Okay.
Almost still going strong. He's at 27 now.
Yeah, so it was looking like we were really going to have, a really good race here.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, we see what you stepped on, and my mind is just blown.
There was so many of them. Like sometimes you can see Monster Den with like 6 monsters in it, but there was more than 20 in that case.
Oh, so Baldwin is still going to go up. We're going to talk for a bit. I think we're going to go to or the hours up. I think just to kind of push the time.
Oh yeah, sure. If you guys want to do the full time, I'm pretty sure that's all right.
Yeah. So basically, what I want to ask you, Sendai, is were you happy that only one Garuda got spawned and all that monsters, or were you upset that there were so many Picket?
No, I was happy there was only one Garuda. In that specific situation, I didn't care much for my inventory. The only thing I was caring for is that I knew I had that Holy Scroll and I didn't want to get stolen that. Everything else I was okay with. But yeah, in the end, that was kind of a complicated room. But when I saw how many trolls and pickers there were, I was like, I don't think I can get out of it, but I want to try. And yeah, I had to. The problem was, and you guys might not have realized that, but there was a few trolls that had the stats of the floor. So some of the trolls hit me for 1, and some of them hit me for 10. So I had to clear these out too.
Oh, really? That I didn't notice.
Yeah, some of them didn't have the sword, but they had the stats of troll sword, so I had to clear them, and those are the ones that needed like 50 damage before dying. The other ones I was one-shotting.
Baldwin takes a big hit there.
Yep, Schnapless, yeah. And he needs to pick up Cuny if he doesn't want to lose it. Ouch. Oh, no, okay, he can tank it. That's good.
So we have a third commentator here now.
Yeah, sorry, but
no, it's fine. It's fine.
Baldwin played out of his mind.
Yeah, Baldwin's doing great. He's actually at a really good pace. We do have different categories, like I said, of 10 floors, 24, 30 floor. That's like the 15th item room. What is going on with this stuff now?
Yeah, you guys have found a ton of item rooms between the two of you.
Yeah, I think that's number 6 or 7 now. Like, it's ridiculous at this point. But basically, if he gets to floor 30, when the menu gets canceled, that would be his time. So we can kind of say, at least till then, just let him run. And hey, if you can get to 40, that's a victory lap. Like, why not?
Oh, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, but I wanted to say that Baldwin did play so great for all the games. I did watch a little bit, like, on the restream, and I was impressed. Seriously, that was quite a race.
Yeah, actually, I'm really surprised that it was so even for so long in the third particular race, because you guys were both level 7, you guys were both on floor 10, and you were both using Mr. Magic at the same time. It was great because we're like, oh, because he had a Scarlet Wand.
Ooh.
I think you still had the Copper Sword forever, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I had Copper Sword for quite a long time, and I had a Iron Shield.
Yeah. Oh, looks like he is on
31.
Yeah, he's on 31. So at this point in the game, he is going to die in a hit. Like the stuff that gets spawned here. Did he get spawned by a bunch of things? Oh, hi, Killer.
Oh damn.
But basically, what it comes down to it is
62 damage.
Yeah.
Oh no, and I think he might be done.
Yeah. So he got to 31. He did get to floor 30, so he can submit that to the lead. I think that might be a PB for him for 30 as well, actually.
Real quick, I'll throw this in because that's one of the things our community is, debunking a lot of this unknown stuff, like Alaric has already done. There's actually no difference between the Japanese and the English version of this game, other than the fact that the Japanese version is semi-voice acted. Other than that, the games are absolutely identical across the board.
Except for the money underflow glitch for rusted item. That's the only thing that was possibly exploitable for us as a speedrunner.
Correct.
Also, for the record, the demo creatures and stuff like that on the game are so dumb. Because they have like, Blade uses Neos. Oh no, this is goofy. Also, we were admiring, Sandknight, your lag of that room during that as well.
My lag?
Yeah, of all the pickets and everything that spawned in there, your game just went to a crawl.
Oh, the lag. Yeah.
That was amazing.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. But with that many monster, like the game can lag with way less than that. So I knew at that point that lag I just had to deal with. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like both our runners are done. I don't know what the current status is for the next round. If we take a break for whatever, because it's going to be Don Fargo versus Pasama. Sad Knight will be joining me in commentary as Dataris gets to leave, and I am going to grab another cup of tea before, because I've been muting quite a bit and making sure that my voice is hydrated.
So thank you all for being here. We hope you really did enjoy our nice little exhibition race here. If you did enjoy it, please follow both of our runners, Sand Knight and Baldwin, both of which who are moving forward in the tournament. So you will be seeing more of them. In addition, feel free to follow Azure Dreams in general on Twitch and our Discord. So we are always loving to have more people in here. You will see more races of this game on Speed Gaming in general. Plus the fact that I believe it's potentially sooner, but most likely in about an hour on Speed Gaming, I think, correct?
Nope, Speed Gaming 3, we're staying here.
Oh,
Yes,
we're staying
here. Yes, we're taking a short break, and then we'll be back as soon as everybody's ready to do the other
Beautiful. So there you are. We're staying here on 3. Our second race will be coming up, and this one does have actual tournament implications. It is not an exhibition race. It is an actual race to move on between Pasama and Don Forgo. So please stick around. Hopefully you all enjoy that, and then we will all be back shortly.
Yep, and also, just specify as well, Baldwin has moved up. He is actually my next opponent, and that will be happening next week sometime.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
wanted to add that on top of it. You can give a follow to Shawnee and the Darcis, the commentator for the race. Thank you very much, guys, for doing this. They also speedrun the game, and they both are super great, and they both are in the tournament also. So if you want to give them a follow, I'm sure they'll appreciate. And I want to thank you very much, Speed Gaming channel in general. I know we're just queuing up another race, but still thank you for this one. You guys are awesome.
All right, we'll see you all back here shortly.
Yep.
Thanks for sticking around.